welcome to the show where it's wrestling with entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., alongside Kaliko Yachts.
So we've gotta say goodbye for the summer. Baby, I promise you this summer's over. School's back in session, man. It's over. It's feeling good. Feeling good. Summer's over, football's coming up, but wrestling's still going on forever. No season's off. No off season.
It seems like this was the forever summer of wrestling. There was just so much wrestling.
You ain't lying. I've never seen a summer where it was this much wrestling in my life. It felt like it was overboard.
Oh yeah. Well, it was a good week for wrestling with, as we always have an overboard of wrestling. Last Tuesday we had Steve Argentero and last Wednesday Matt Amato. Two incredible interviews. Definitely go into the archives and check them out if you haven't already. This upcoming Tuesday, we have Romeo. Going back to the Philippines, Puso Pro Wrestling, Dexcon. He's the announcer for those companies. He was also a wrestler, retired. Kind of dipping his toes back into pro wrestling again. We talk about that, relationships with Robin Zane, Fabio McKeesig, Mad Max, and a hell of a lot more. He has his own podcast as well, Wrestling. We talk about that, and a hell of a lot more. So definitely go check that one out. And then this upcoming Wednesday, we got Funny Bone, that match extraordinaire. We talk about his tag team partner, who he also has death matches against regularly. Most notably, last time a dumb tack dumb war he had. We talk about a match against Cody Rhodes. We talk about a lot of different things. Definitely a long and storied career. 24 years in the business. So definitely go check that one out. But don't take my word for it. Here's some clips now. Can you tell us about that time Jeff Cobb drew you?
Yeah. When we found out that Chris Panzer was going to wrestle Jeff Cobb, I knew, and I made it my goal to ask for a spot where Jeff would get physical with us, would throw us around, would suplex us. And to his credit, when Jeff found out that Chris Panzer had backup on his side, he immediately included us in the writing of the match, in how the match went down. So I really appreciated him for that. I didn't have to ask. I didn't have to fight for a spot to get tossed in the ring by him. He knew that it was going to be a nice moment to have in that match. So I really love that guy. And up to now, as you have seen, I like posting about that. I like posting that video and showing people. I just actually showed one of our guests earlier in the podcast this afternoon. I was showing him me getting tossed around by who is now JC Mateo in WWE, right? So I love that. My top 5 moments in the business.
You had a dumb tack dumb war in the during the match, no?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it sucked. Drexel's a cheater at fucking thumb wars because his thumb is like 6 inches long. It's fucking ridiculous. Every time I wrestled him in thumb war, he's always won. And then this time I decided to glue thumbtacks to our thumbs, and that shit fucking hurt. I literally have a scar on my hand from his ass because the thumbtack dug in and then dragged across. And I'm not sorry for DVDing him through a fucking chair.
Right. You beat me at Dunmores, I DDT, you drew a chair.
Yeah, I tried to murder him. He kept, he's already dead, so kind of a moot point.
And then on the 25th, which is a Monday, yes, it's the ending of the month already. We have Delios. On the 26th, we have Bam Bam Quaid. On the 27th, we have Dean Olmark. On September 2nd, we have Ref DC. And on the 3rd, we have Jay Alexander. So a lot of big things popping off for Wrestling With in the next couple of weeks. Alright, I think we're done putting ourselves over. No, Kaliko?
We're never done putting ourselves over.
Well, it is a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with the news. And one to put himself over a lot this week was a one Karrion Kross. We talked about him for the last couple of weeks. His contract, will they, won't they? We even talked last week. They probably will. He's over. If you believe rumor and innuendo, they did not. They did not renew his contract. He's on the alumni page, and he is not a part of the company no longer. His last match was against Sami Zayn at SummerSlam. Which, when you lose when your contract's coming up and you lose the match, it's kind of a sign like you're on your way out. So I kind of had that idea. But just the way that they've been going about it for the last, week or so. There was a documentary dropped from Karrion Kross's YouTube page documenting his last weeks in WWE. He had an interview with Ariel Helwani. Paul Heyman had an interview with Ariel Helwani where he was asked about Karrion Kross. So, Karrion Kross is still very much all, in, the vocal point of things right now. For a guy that they say that is, not a part of the company, it does seem like a work. But what are your thoughts, Kaliko?
We were just talking this, and I remember I was telling you, he just promoted his book. Why the hell would they do all that and then don't sign him? And then he comes out and says, well, they offered me, and they just offered just me. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I will say this. He went out with a bang. I've never seen an hour YouTube video about somebody's release. Self-documentary. And, it's rather weird that it's just a weird thing, because I guess, and he has his reasons. I guess if you take him at his word, everything that we thought it was going to be, people are cheering for him, and yet no one wants to recognize it. I'd be kind of pissed too, What? And it's just, and then if they did the signing and they didn't want to sign his wife, because the way he said it was like, oh, we'll deal with you, then we'll get your wife. And it's kind of weird because they usually do them as a package deal. So that was a weird thing. But I mean, he's already set his first appearance up. He's doing a little meet and greet in November, so clearly this is a thing. It's just rather weird that, I mean, the only reason it's weird, but it's not weird because we just saw this with R-Truth.
Right.
But R-Truth wasn't as hot. I mean, never mind. R-Truth was hot. But Karrion Kross was hotter than R-Truth. And I've never seen that happen. Like, a person goes from, like, #1 merch seller in 3 months he's gone.
Right. It's just, from the WWE side of things, because I do kind of think that this is a walk. I don't think that it's legitimate. I think because in the Ariel Helwani interview, he said that, the contract that they offered him didn't necessarily work for him, and he just wanted to ask him how did they come to that consensus, and they would not give him an answer, and that kind of I felt odd because, like, I mean, talent relations would have an answer for him as to how they came to that conclusion. And the second part about it is that they gave him a 24-hour notice to sign it. It was, we're offering you this in 24 hours, but if you don't sign in 24 hours, we're resending it. Which just seems like a really weird and shady, business tactic. Which, I mean, I would feel like WWE is a lot more professional than that. The only thing that I could, really think about is that it's all, a work, and they kind of said that for you to say, oh, WWE bad, they're holding down Karrion Kross good, they're holding him down, they're making him the underdog, which I mean was which is like you said, the Daniel Bryan situation. I mean, Daniel Bryan's contract wasn't up or anything, but it was the Authority versus Daniel Bryan. So now it's kind of like the company versus Karrion Kross, but it's more mixed in with kayfabe, non-kayfabe, reality. You don't necessarily know what's real anymore. You know what I mean?
Right, but I also try to think about how much, because now this is one thing that we really don't think about. How much is this WWE negotiation, and how much of this is a TKO negotiation?
I mean, as far as I know, TKO hasn't negotiated contracts. It's been through WWE.
But I would think TKO would give them the numbers, because keep in mind, R-Truth had this issue too with the numbers.
That's true. But, and I mean, you could maybe make the argument that that was a walk too. I mean, obviously, Seth Rollins' injury angle kind of made people, question reality at this point. Which, I mean, they should. I mean, Paul Heyman came out and said it was all, a walk. He wasn't really injured. So, it makes us as, the working wrestling fans, question everything that we're seeing. Is this real? Is this being played for, effects? You know what I mean?
Right. The only thing that we know is that we don't know.
Right.
And we're just guessing, honestly. I mean, and it's. But I mean, I would think that this is about as real as it gets, because for him to be released, to put in this much work to release a documentary about him leaving is some next level shit. Like, because and that's the only reason I would think it's a work too, because if I know one thing about WWE, if they haven't promoted it before, they damn sure ain't gonna let you do it on the platform when you leave. Because, I mean, I'm just looking at all the podcasts. Logan Paul, Stephanie McMahon, and YouTube channels and Twitch channels. They never promoted his shit. So that's the only reason the biggest context clue that I can think of that he's actually gone. Now, if that was on WWE's YouTube, oh, hell yeah, it's a work.
I mean, clearly it would have been. I mean, it's still... It kind of still is. You know, everybody... It's funny that all of this is happening when Unreal just dropped, you know, like, maybe a month ago, less than. And people are, you know, oh, nothing is, you know, secret anymore. It's kayfabe's dead. And now we're having this whole conversation about what is real and what is, you know, what is reality and what is fabricated. Which I feel like Unreal, in a way, was kind of like a catalyst to make this storyline with Karrion Kross, to make you question what's going on. In a way, Unreal was... It killed the original kayfabe to substitute a new kayfabe. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well, I always said Unreal is hard knocks. They're just showing you what they want you to show.
Right.
What they want to show you. And they're giving you the snippets of people, okay, this is their real name, this is how we book matches, and so on and so forth, which is kind of like, to the casual fan, that's like, oh my God, what the fuck, you know, but to like guys who actually are in it, they kind of got an idea of the rundown. But that's the only reason I said it. They just are, it's hard knocks. The only access they're giving you is the access that they want to give you.
Right.
Because what got me is that, like, when it comes to these injuries and such, everything was going back to the Rumble, or from Rumble to Mania. So, I mean, in those episodes, and maybe they'll release some more, I don't know, was not Becky Lynch's comeback, not Becky Lynch's face heel turn, not, you know what I mean? So, right. The intricacies, they kind of went in with, like, the Travis Scott stuff, but then you see the stuff that kind of counters it. So that's why I say they're just showing you what they want to show you. It's not, I mean, it's real what they're showing you, but they're just showing you this to keep you from this. It's like, you know, the Hard Knocks, they show them, like, even during the season, they'll show them, like, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, you know, this is how it's happening. But they're not showing you, like, the playbook, what schemes they're planning on running, how they study the film. You know what I mean? It's not like the deep details that really, really matter in these things. It's the same with WWE. They're not showing you the deepest of details. I think they're just showing you the stuff where they pitch the ideas and then decide to go left.
When would you think, if this is indeed, you know, a walk, and Karrion Kross is still a part of WWE, when did you bring him back? What's the moment to say, to pull the trigger and say, we re-signed him, he's back on our TV? How do you do it?
The biggest question I see, or the biggest hypothetical I see where that could happen is War Games with Seth. Because they're gearing you to it. It's just a matter of, eventually it's 5 people. So from the way I see it after Monday, it looks like it's going to be Punk, Punk, Roman, Jay, LA Knight, and you need a fifth. And then you got Seth, Bronson, and they need two. Seth and Bron, and they still need two. So I could see him coming back like that, and that actually would help him because that would just thrust him into main event level ish.
Do you want him walking heel when the crowd is so behind him?
He's been working heel the whole goddamn time.
I know, but that's before that was kind of before all of this happened. You know, if he's coming back, it's not as, Karrion Kross, the devil, It's going to be as Kevin Kross, the guy that we kind of started to learn more about in his journey and his life in maybe the last 3 months. You kind of understand what I mean?
That's true. They are looking for somebody, and they said one. I'm thinking they're gonna have one more, and they said it was supposed to be a frustrated wrestler. Who's more frustrated than Karrion Kross right now?
That's a good question. I could maybe make an argument for like a Carmelo Hayes. Maybe a Rusev. I think Alistair's doing...
Carmelo's black. Carmelo's black. They ain't putting him in there. they ain't putting him in that shit. Carmelo's black. Yeah, I don't know why you playing like that.
Well, you said people that are frustrated. Carmelo's not necessarily going up or down right now. He's just kind of somewhere in the middle.
He's up in life with Kalani, so congrats on the engagement.
Good for him. I think, if we're going till November, yeah, that would be a great way to bring him back as Survivor Series, obviously. I could even say maybe go a little bit further. Bring him back at the Rumble. I dare say nobody has made, there has been surprise entrances, but to bring Karrion Kross and even potentially win the Royal Rumble, that would really get people going bananas for him if they could keep up the momentum between now and January. We're 4 months out, but there's definitely factors there, but yeah, it's a possibility.
Rumble, yes, only if he wins it, but I don't see him winning it. I think Punk wins the Rumble next year.
I agree. But, you could have maybe Kross and Punk be the last two.
Oh, no, the last two, I would think if Punk's winning it, it would be him and either Jay or him and LA Knight or him and Roman. Those are the only those are the only callbacks you gonna get through.
Would you say that is there an opportunity between now and October to bring him back? I don't see him getting involved in anything that Brock or John Cena's doing. He was, messing with Sami, but I think that's kind of over. And it would hurt him and Sami more to, want it back, if anything.
It would. He would have to attack somebody who's on. I mean, him and Miz never finished.
He never finished anybody.
That's my point. So I mean, got him and Miz. He did jump in. I mean, well, I'll put it this way: it was finished. It's just because he was the guy. You remember how like Bray would be that guy where like you would face him, but then you'd be different.
Right.
He took that mantle. That was the mantle he was taking. Now, no matter what somebody say about whether you can bump or blah 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 blah, but it was about the he was the genesis and the arc of their character change. So the only way you would bring him back is if you're looking at someone who is due for that change, whether it's face to heel, heel to face. So far, I mean, an art. No, because he just got back with John Cena. He didn't cut all his hair off, and then John Cena went face, and now he look at him. He cut his hair for no reason. But I mean,
Maybe something with
maybe
Priest.
Priest could be one. He's kind of like he's a face, but he's middling. Alistair, Truth. But if you're thinking Raw,
Drew would be good shit.
Nah, you leave Drew as he is. Drew is like the walking scar from Lion King.
Be prepared.
Be prepared, and he's justified in everything he's doing. I mean, it all makes sense why he does it, because he's the guy that. Because I'll say this, Drew is the person that he's telling you what it is, and it has a hint of truth where it's super believable. It ain't like he's spitting facts. He ain't spitting no lies.
Nope. He's
straight up with it. So you don't want to mess with that on him. I would, and his character's so captivating because his pettiness knows no bounds.
He is not petty. He is justified. He literally told you that.
Yeah, he literally told that to his justification. Let me rephrase that. His justification knows no bounds. But yeah, it's just it would have to be on Raw. He's been on Raw. You deal with him on Raw. You can see him with a Jay because Jay's been kind of floundering. You can see him with I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe a Roman if Roman is still kind of stuck on this Heyman thing. I'm trying to think of any faces. Alpha Academy. He already did Ray. I'm really stuck on names on Raw.
What about the Judgment Day?
Nah, you let that cook. Because once Liv come back, it's a civil war.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, Finn and Dom are gonna be cooking for that's the rivalry. But at some point, when they split off, you're gonna have to do something with Finn and the Funko guy and whatever females decide to go with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it's just a matter of what you. It's just a matter of what angle you're going with Finn. Are you bringing Finn back to what he used to be, or are you know what I mean? It's just
okay. So what Karrion Kross always used to do was bring out the worst versions of people. Let's say, the more villainous side. Well, Finn has shown his more villainous side, so maybe you come back and instead of being the devil on your shoulder, Karrion Kross is the angel on your shoulder, trying to get Finn Balor back to the Balor of old. I
Ah,
mean, if he actually succeeds, that's to whatever they decide direction to go in. But maybe that's his goal in the end.
I mean, that could be the case. He never really gotten on. Wait a minute, he did do AJ. Never mind. He already had AJ. See, that's the thing. It's like,
I mean, there's something to be
I
done
mean,
with Logan Paul, I would feel.
possibly. Um, I am trying to draw names, and it's mad hard to draw a name on Raw.
That isn't
I
already
mean,
involved in something pretty heavily.
right. Um, SmackDown, you seem to got more people.
I mean, you could even do maybe something with him and Solo, I would think, which is SmackDown.
Yep. Um, you're not having him touch Gunther.
Ooh, no,
You're not having
no,
him touch Jacob.
you could do something with Cross and Walter. Well, Gunther.
Um, ooh, Kevin Owens when he comes back might be interesting.
That would.
Um, LA Knight, he could definitely deal something with that LA Knight.
I mean, he could, but faces. We're trying to get him over as a face, and obviously,
He ain't getting no. He's not a face, bro. He's the most cheered for heel this side of Dominic Mysterio.
I mean, I, I mean, you could present him as a heel, but tell that to the crowd. I mean,
That's what they've been doing with damn. They've been doing that shit with what's his face,
Dom,
Dominic Mysterio.
yeah. I mean, it's just literally a matter of time before they pull the trigger on him to turn him, face.
Right. So I mean, it's only a given. I just don't see it though. It'll be tough.
Um, well, somebody that we won't be seeing any more of is Ashanti the Adonis. He got released from WWE. I could make the argument why wasn't he released, a long time ago. No shade to somebody losing their job. But he seemed pretty in high spirits. Even though getting released. If you would have told me, like, when Hit Row first came out, that out of the dream males that were in the company, that the Asante de Adonis was going to be the sole survivor, I would have asked you what crack are you smoking? But yeah, B-Fab is the only surviving member of Hit Row.
And she better thank the Prophets and Lashley for that one. Uh, I mean, I think he was okay. He just never got a chance to make traction. And when you can't make traction, now it's time to, I mean, you gotta
zero.
make it somewhere.
He literally had zero aura. If
Not even aura, just a sense of like making people invest in you.
I mean, if Booker T on commentary can't get you over, then you know that there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but maybe he can go find some track. I mean, a lot of these NXT cats were going to TNA, so he might be T Adonis.
Adonis. um, you could just have him go back to Top Dollar and reunite that horrible tag team.
I mean, top flight, first class, first ass. Not first ass. I'm sorry, first class.
No, they'll force us.
No, they're not first ass. No.
Wow, you're not even giving them first ass. They're second ass now.
I mean, I'm just gonna.
On a side bit of news, Sami Calihan, yesterday at the Resurgence or Reemergence or
Emergence or something.
Emergence or Emergency or E-Day or whatever you want to call it. It was a TNA event. He he wrestled with Mike Santana. He lost the match. And then he after the match he took his boots off and left them in the ring. Kind of signaling that he's retiring. It could just be part of the storyline. I.e. Undertaker WrestleMania 33. But if you've seen what Sami Calihan looked like, he did not look like Sami Calihan. He did not look healthy. Um, no shade to him, but it was hard to even recognize that he was Sami Calihan. Um, I don't know what the specifics were of it, but I did hear that he had some health issues these last couple of years. So obviously, that has something to do with it. Um, it's a shame because Sami Calihan was one of those guys that is a big what if question mark because he could have done so much more than he did, and he did a lot in his career. And at one point he was like the most over guy in TNA. And in one of the most over factions, Ohio versus everyone. So it's kind of sad that if this is actually the end, this is kind of how it ends. You know?
Right. Yeah, it's rather disappointing. Although I will say this, if he has gotten the opportunity to go out on his own terms, then I mean that's a win. I mean his going out is probably better than Goldberg's. Anyways, you didn't hear that from me. Anyways, but he won't complain about it. So I mean, if it is, it is. I mean, I don't think. I mean, sometimes they do put that, or maybe it's something where it's a hiatus where he can work on himself, see how he can get back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Lose the weight, figure out what's going on. Because I mean, or maybe
Get healthy.
you hope it's that. You hope it's that, but the thing is that if he has to go, I'd rather see him walking out than and especially letting him walk out on what we deem as like their own terms, at least, going out in the ring.
Right. If it is his last match, and if he is content with how it ended, I can't be more I could be more happy for him. Like seriously, like I said, he's done a lot in his career, and he's definitely could have did so much more. Um, the possibilities with Sami Callahan was endless at one point. But he had a full career. He did what he had to do. If this is it and he went out on his own terms, hands to Sammy for that.
Exactly. Hey, he put Tessa over. So I mean,
Yeah. Um, Keeping up on TNA news, TNA is going for a media rights renewal, kind of shopping the markets right now. Looking to get on broadcast TV again. Um, I don't know, how well they're doing right now with all of that. Um, but it was kind of rumored and innuendo that they were open to moving to Wednesday nights to possibly go up against um, AEW. Um, I find that interesting that to have a Wednesday night wars that have nothing to do with WWE would be really interesting. What are your thoughts on a renewal, the whole media rights and uh, TNA possibly going to Wednesdays?
I mean, they have the. If there's one thing going in their favor is that they have the leverage now with WWE helping them out. I just wish this had been done a lot sooner because right now, this is the hottest they've been in a minute, right?
Oh yeah.
So at least he's striking while the iron's hot. I mean, Silva seems to be having this company heading in a right trajectory. Um, he's got talent there that not not only are names but WWE names. I mean, Joe Hendry, Santana is going to be one. They got some enough veterans with moves. They got Tessa, Rosemary. They got some players.
Masha.
It's just Masha, um, Tessa. Anyway, not.
You went to Tessa.
I'm just fucking with you. But anyways, I mean, the sky seems to be the limit for them. So it seems like they're peaking. They're getting hot right at the right time. The question is, where would they be on Wednesday?
That's a
Um,
good question.
I remember I heard rumor was that they were willing to go to CW, but I don't know if that's a thing. And then, so, I mean, it would have to be somewhere where they can make it, make it reach a broader audience. Um, it's weird because TNA is now the number three company in the United States, which is one thing I mean, some of you wouldn't have said, like with NWA
It's a lot. The
and
landscape's a lot different than it was 5 years ago, where
oh
NWA
my
was
God, it
popping
changed.
off.
Yeah. So I mean, it'd be interesting to see where they can go.
Okay,
But yeah, capitalize off the fact that you got that hot ass crowd right now. They're selling out shows all over the place. I heard the ticket sales for their biggest show, Bound for Glory, is actually pretty good. I actually was this close to going, and then I realized I had a wedding and I can't go. Fuck me. Fuck my life, but yeah, here we go.
I mean, you're not the groom. Could you dip out?
I already RBSVP'd. They already got my head counted. I can't be like.
Chicken or steak?
Steak, always. I mean, Brock Lesnar, baby. Brock Lesnar, red meat.
Um, just going back to TNA. You know, hear me out on this one. When it comes to a channel they could, probably be on, um, Paramount. I mean, Paramount was originally Spike TV. There's a history there. Um, it's still, relatively, Paramount's still relatively relevant at this point. Um, so to me, that would kind of make some sense to have it on I mean, obviously, there's only so many channels that aren't under um, the NBC slash, TBS banner that they couldn't go to.
Right.
So, Paramount would be the best alternative for them. And if they could get their content on Paramount Plus, like, fuck me, that would, you know, I don't want to say it would send them into the stratosphere, but it would definitely do wonders for them, going forward.
The only thing, I mean, I would say Peacock, because Peacock has a hole now, a wrestling void hole,
But they still got WWE content, if I'm not mistaken.
but it ain't the same. Um, but I would think WWE would try to help them get a leg up. I mean, they already broke one rule. They announced ticket sales for the show, like, we pre-sale on freaking, they allow TNA to do pre-sale. So, I mean, hey, they're there for the success.
I mean,
It's just a matter. I'm trying to think. I can't think of a show where they would go. MTV, BET needs some shows. They canceled fucking the BET Awards.
I mean, at one point, NXT could have been on BET.
They might as well have with Trick rapping. Hell,
Oh yeah. Um. Yeah. I. If they could get back on, cable TV, I think that it would be a really big thing for them, going forward. Um. Obviously the on's hot right now. Strike it, and they're not even on, a widely known, channel. They're on the Access. Are they still on Access? I think so.
I believe so, yeah.
So, get somewhere that people are going to have access to. If, what's it called? The app is a part of that deal even better. If, if they do go up against AEW, is that a big issue for AEW? Are they?
No, because AEW's floor is greater than TNA's floor.
In what way?
AEW has diehards
Mm.
that are going to stick with it no matter what. TNA, put like this, it's pretty much like whose diehards are going to stick through it the most. And I have more faith in AEW diehards than TNA, because there's too many AEW diehards. These people had an AEW shirt for 2 years, and that company wasn't even wrestling yet.
That's true.
So that tells you everything you need to know.
You know, I, I actually kind of agree with you. Whoever is going to be watching AEW at this point is just going to be watching AEW. I don't think that they're going
Yeah,
to be fighting over, clicks, so to speak. Uh,
yeah, they're beyond gone. It's not even.
yeah, they
Yeah,
they're in their coffee, 7,000 700,000 viewers or whatever that demographic is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I mean, they've kind of just like plateaued. They haven't necessarily gotten bigger, and they haven't necessarily gotten smaller at the same time. Um,
Wednesday was 690, so they're usually between 690 to 700.
yeah. So I mean, I don't see them going higher right now unless they have the greatest storyline of all time, which they're not. Um,
Who, AEW or
Yeah,
TNA?
AEW.
Oh, AEW just blew off their biggest storyline. So
Yeah, I mean, we're coming up to, the ending of the Dead Riders, which actually might, you know, bring more people to the product now that that's dead, or will be dead soon. Um,
you think Darby's gonna kill the Death Rider?
Not before he kills himself. Um,
There you go.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't think that, it's a matter of let's see if we could get, AEW fans to watch this. I think it's just to attract what casual wrestling fans will be interested in what we have. We have the Hardys, so you have nostalgia pop. You have new stars like Henry Santana. Um, so I mean, they have, Moose. So I mean, they have the attract. They have enough to pull people. They would have to do something, major in order to get a AEW diehard to cross over. And vice versa. I don't think that AEW is going to do anything that's going to make, um, people turn the channel to TNA, unless, it's, Undertaker versus John Cena.
Well, keep in mind the last time AEW and TNA worked together, it was something else. Uh, like, yeah, it was like the redhead stepchildren over there.
Oh yeah,
And people thought NXT was treating them bad. I'm like, have you seen what AEW done before?
exactly. That would if you want a dictionary, definition of abuse, that, that would be it.
That was it. Yeah, that was. I mean, at least I thought it was. But hey, so I mean, they can't go nowhere but up. So I'm rooting for them to get somewhere because I think them having the home would be huge, huge.
Right. And it's always TNA always had the potential, and they've always been their worst enemy. And obviously they're the hottest that they've been in quite some time. Um, you know,
Since the AJ storyline,
yeah. So I mean, they're trying to capitalize on that, and once again, you know kind of, I don't want to say they're spiting themselves, but kind of despite themselves. There is rumor and innuendo that, they'll be selling a, TNA, or looking to sell TNA, to somebody called, Lorenzo Fatata, Titta, Lorenzo Lorenzo Fortita.
or
So, for anybody that doesn't know, he originally owned, UFC before, TKO took over. Um, Obviously, he has a lot of money if he can buy, a wrestling company. But he's expressed interest that, to actually purchase it. Whether he does or not has yet to be seen. Um,
that would be interesting to say the least. But
I mean, yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I what is the angle of doing it? I don't. I guess I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, what is the purpose of it? I mean, the only way I can see him is trying to rival Dana White, but Dana White's too deep right now with TKO. Granted, he co-owned it with Dana White.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we could both agree that wrestling and UFC are vastly different from each other. Um, so I mean,
Vastly is an understatement.
there's not like a lot of crossover there.
Yeah, because the UFC community kind of, as a person who's been in it, they kind or who watches it, they are in it for the art of the art of the art, if that makes sense. Like the art of fighting, the actual art discipline of martial art, and they don't see. I mean, you got a little crossover, but not as much as most people think.
They're there for violence. Let's not beat around the bush.
I mean, aren't we there for violence?
We're there for the story.
With violence.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you've seen, the Avengers. I mean, that's a story-based movie, but there's a lot of violence in it. No,
Hmm.
so
Yeah, I
so
I get it. I get it, but I just don't get what TNA would get with him buying it. I mean, that's the only thing. Especially me being like a guy who understands the UFC and how they work. An MMA guy to run a UFC, a wrestling show is going to be kind of.
could this really hurt and take the breath out of TNA, right? If they were to sign with, if this guy was to sign, by them.
Um, I would depends on what strings he can pull because you got to think he's trying to get in the game that he has no idea being in. He could be the next Tony Khan, and we may not like that.
I mean, it's definitely because I'm here to say I know nothing about this guy. I don't know about his business ventures or how he thinks or how he works. So I couldn't really tell you if he's cocaine Tony or if he's another Vince McMahon or a Triple H. If he's smart enough to put somebody to actually run the company and just be kind of like the money side of things or the business side of things, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. But if he's running TV and producing TV and you know, going the Tony Khan route, then that could be a problem. I mean, those are like two like major extremes there, but there was a lot. We could both agree that there's a lot of variables in between that make it really you know that those two extremes really far apart. No,
True, but if a person is buying a company, the last thing I'm doing is letting other people run it because you want to instill your culture first.
right. Well, we will see what happens there. Um, Another person that they said might potentially buy WWE, TNA, is WWE. Um, I don't know how true that is, but if they were, what would that kind of mean? What would that mean?
Probably for the library for the most part. Library, pluck off some stars. I mean, the crossover is already there, so it's not like it's out of pocket. You know what I mean?
True.
So to me, it's not as It's not this. Oh my god! I mean, at least you know it'd be in good hands. Like shit.
I would like maybe agree with you there. If Vince McMahon was, still, you know, the head of the company, because I mean he took care of that shit. Like wrestling, culture and the video libraries and the tapes. Like he, you know, AWA got all the tapes, puts them on the network. Um, NWA got the tapes, put them on the network. Everything that WWE acquired, they used. Under TKO, I could honestly see them, taking it for granted. You know what I mean? Yeah. Um, Respawn. Somebody respawned. I have no idea. Um, what was we? Vince. I was saying, TKO could take, this for granted. Um, you know, Acquiring a TNA. Agree? Disagree?
Um, like I said, it would have to be for the library
But they
because
could
they got
take
so many
that
people
library for granted.
associated. You say what?
They could take that library for granted. Like, under Vince McMahon, he put all of that shit out there. TKO could say, this is worthless and put it in a room and and lock it and throw away the key for all we know.
Not if they no, because now that library includes JC Jane and Trick, and so it'd be stupid of them to do that.
I
On a
mean,
personal note,
it from our perspective it is, but from their perspective it might be smart. We don't know. This is the same company that offered Karrion Kross a 24-hour contract, if you believe rumor and innuendo.
true. So yeah, shit can be as backwards as you think. Shit can go left real quick. Okay, what's the worst that could happen?
We never hear about TNA ever again.
I doubt that. I doubt that. But I don't think it's gonna. I think it's just gonna stay. It's just gonna stand pat, see where the options are, and grow from there. Because they are too. Because I will say this: they are the company that never dies. Because they've been written off more times than my taxes, and
Oh,
somehow they still make it. They still make it through. So I just learned, don't even mess with them. Don't even.
Hard to
You
Kill
let them
isn't
be.
just a cool
Steven
pay per
Seagal
view
movie.
nickname.
Well, no, that's Steven Seagal, sir. Don't be disrespecting Steven.
Oh, I would never. He literally could still kick my
Sir
ass.
Seagal. Sir Seagal.
Hmm.
Nah, he can't kick nobody ass. Nah, we gonna keep it real right there, man. He old as shit. We all age. I ain't.
So, speaking of Vince McMahon, I don't know if you saw, but he did a interview for TMZ for the tribute for Hulk Hogan, and
Really?
yeah, dude looked like a Martian, if I'm being honest. Like, like those latex masses you get for like Halloween, where it kind of looks like somebody, but it's kind of looks horrorous, even though it's not meant to.
Yeah. Oh no, no. He went through some phases because he looked like the Tapatio man at one point. He going through it. I don't know if that's a karma thing or what, but hot damn that boy old.
Yeah. Um, if you believe in conspiracies theories, Vince McMahon might be actually dead at this point, and this is a doppelganger.
Oh my God! They said that about Gucci Bang. They be killing people off. The internet needs to stop. They killed so many people. I remember they killed E40, and I'm like, what the fuck? The
Well,
hell E40 do to you? But anyways,
nearing his end, John Cena. Um, he will be having his last match at in December at a Saturday night's main event of
ooh.
all special events.
Somewhere Goldberg's pissed.
I no disrespect to Saturday night's main event. I feel like that's kind of lackluster for a John Cena retirement. Like, why couldn't they bring back a PLE and have it be John Cena's last match? You know what I mean?
They got their reasons. I mean, the rumor that I heard is that they're trying to line it up against a AEW show. So that's what I heard.
Right. Well, that's a part of it. World's End is going to. We're not sure if it's going to be counter programmed to World's End. Right now, I think it's scheduled for the 14th. World's End is on the 27th. They might move that 14th position to the 27th, and fuck AEW.
Yeah, the only reason they wouldn't do that is because they've been so adamant about giving them the Christmas holiday off. But they can tape that bitch.
Well, I mean, you could. It's John Cena's retirement match. I mean, they could literally just have John Cena stand out there for like 10 minutes and just have the crowd, cheer him, and then you're good to go.
I don't see that happening. But
I know,
I
but
mean, yeah, his final match. It's coming to the end, dude. Damn, it's only a couple months away, too.
Yeah.
Like, you better make him count. Unless he does the Shawn Michaels. Oh, no, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Terry Funk. Basically any wrestler that retired in between.
I think that John Cena. I don't like that it's going to be at a Saturday night's main event. If I'm being completely honest, I would have preferred they bring back a PLE, an Armageddon, a tables, ladders, and chairs, whatever one tickles your fancy, and have him retire on that. It's we don't
Well,
we don't necessarily look at Saturday night's main event as a big special event. We've had like 3 of them this year, and I'm kind of already
I
over
feel like
it.
we had like 50 of them. I feel like it's been 50 of those things.
My point exactly.
But I mean, but the thing is like, what would you? I mean, that date is set. The 14th is set. It's just
It could change. It could absolutely change.
subject to change.
Mm-hmm.
Hard subject to change.
Tell that to New Orleans.
Oh, that was a TKO thing. That was a Dustin thing. I told you that was a Dustin thing. They did that for Dustin Poirier.
Um,
They wanted to give him the send off Goldberg never had. Anyway.
you're still on that.
Hey, bro, if I'm just telling you right now, if it's a Saturday night main event, which seems like it's gonna be because it wouldn't. They gon' Goldberg better not watch it. I'm just saying you right there right now. You would have thought John Cena died if they ran that bitch.
Well, I mean,
But the 14th is a Sunday, so
I could be off, and it is it's the 13th. I could be off on that.
I mean, December 13th, yeah, that would make sense. But I mean, even with that, I'm just like, whoo, if it's a Saturday night main event, Goldberg gonna be somewhere pissed. John Cena's gonna have his match. It might be just his match, and then he has his own speech right there on the spot.
I mean, I would not put it past WWE to make people pay thousands of dollars for seats, and you only get one match.
Have you seen that price point for that ticket?
No, I have not. I don't think I want to.
I'm just saying. I mean, that ticket was, I want to say, about 600 for the nosebleeds.
Damn. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
If I'm not mistaken, but I mean, it's gonna be. I'm just saying, it's. Actually, let me pull it up. I'm gonna pull that bitch up. I want to make sure I'm right.
Well, let's draw back to where we are right now, August, going into September. Um, Brock Lesnar obviously came back at SummerSlam. Thought we were getting, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar sooner rather than later. Clash of Paris announced John Cena versus Logan Paul. Definitely an odd choice, but okay. They said that they want to save Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for September, which will be which they're
Perth,
waiting.
right?
Huh?
Perth.
No. Actually, a PLE to counter program all out, which is, I don't know the specific date for that, but I could pull it up.
I would think it'd be Perth because they don't have a pay-per-view in September. The next pay-per-view is in October.
Okay, so we're definitely due for a PLE then, which was September 20th.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see what happens there, but yeah, you're counter programming their WrestleMania with Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Yeah, that's gonna put asses in seats if I do say so myself.
I mean, considering the fact that Brock came out of nowhere,
Yeah.
literally. But
Do you think WWE's being petty doing this?
nah, because I think they just, like I said, Lesnar's not coming back unless Cena gets to give it the go ahead.
No, not that. But counter program AEW shows with WWE shows.
I mean, that's competition. Name of the game. Remember, all the AEW fans were like, "It's good to have competition. This is part of the game. That's part of the game, and vice versa."
But there's a difference between competition and having the Great Khali versus Rey Mysterio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, but Cena Lesnar, people are gonna want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's sorry, it is what it is. Especially what happened at SummerSlam, and then they're gonna have the build up there. So, someone used to tell me, just stand the fuck by, because it's going down.
Moxley did an interview as he does. And he said that, and I quote, AEW wrestling the way you remember it as a kid. So AEW has the wrestling that you remember when you were a kid.
If he's talking about like the botches, yeah.
I don't remember people
Stabbing
bleeding.
each other.
Yeah.
I don't remember Jerry Lawler, Cesaro swinging Superstar Bill Dundee into an audio box.
I
Just my thought process there.
I don't remember Bret Hart gushing blood every time he got in the ring.
I mean, I just don't remember someone stabbing him in the foot. Nah, never mind. That happened. Abdullah the Butcher would do some shit like that, and Bruiser Brody. Nevertheless,
I don't remember anybody being set on fire. Oh no, wait, that did happen on Raw.
I mean, I don't remember PG-13 against the Moondogs, and they super kick somebody with the sneaks on. So I mean, and it explodes. So I mean, hey, it's
Yeah, these two things are not not the same. All right.
just saying.
I think that will conclude our coverage of the news. And now a quick word from our sponsors. So,
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
use promo code WrestlingWithE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax review and preview of week 4, the last week. Let's say the last week. And yeah, we did a lot of Matt last week. Our hits hurt. But now that Matt, comes to tuition, it's pretty much set in stone. Everything that happened. Still a couple of things that we didn't necessarily expect to happen. But hey, I guess that's G1 for you now.
Oh yeah, that final night was some drama. It was some drama for your llama.
And still, who we need to be, where they need to be, is still there, which is a good thing as well.
That is true. Although some people were there, they ain't got no damn business being there. Wasn't on the bingo card, but hey.
And I don't. I think this is the first time you're not talking about Yoshihashi.
Oh no, no, no! Thank God. I mean, the G1 gods heard my pleas and has spared my soul. For Yoshihashi is no more.
Well, let's get into it. August 10th, um, we have A block action. Taichi took an L to Bolton Oleg in 12 minutes, 14 seconds. Taichi, 3 wins, 6 losses, 6 points. Bolton Oleg, 5 wins, 4 losses, 10 points. I mean, I know that Bolton came in as Never champion, but I don't think a Never champion did quite as well as Bolton in this tournament. Like, my God, like 10 points for Bolton Oleg? Like, that's insane.
I know that is weird because usually that like you get that one champion that just goes on a streak and has to like fight for his life with everybody. Fight for his life in every title shot, but I guess they changed their mind and Oleg out here making Rusev look jealous. But
Oh yeah,
but
Oleg looks like $1,000,000.
But hey, that was a solid G1 for him, especially for a guy who's like, I thought he was gonna take his lumps, but they
Yeah,
they gave him more than I thought.
yeah, and I mean that's maybe because they want to give so Gaishings more appreciation, considering all of their Gaishings, even the homegrown ones, left the company because they mistreated them so badly.
We have to show loyalty, but then they gotta push him too, because it's like, well,
Well, I mean, never
you gotta have
champion.
somebody to conquer. You gotta have somebody to conquer.
True, but I mean, he's never champion. He took the L's to the guys that he was supposed to take the L's from, but he took the W's on the ones that didn't necessarily need to take a W on him.
That is true. He beat the people he was supposed to beat and lost to the people that should have been. So yeah,
Right. Um, Ewok lost to Sonata in 10 minutes. Ewok got 8 points, Sonata 8 points. Um,
next. Just disappointed. Just disappointed. But anyways.
um, Yoda Suchi defeated Colin Newman in 11 minutes. And Yoda Suchi got 5 W's, 4 L's, 10 points. Newman, 4 L's, 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points. Honestly, Newman
Mm-hmm.
did a lot better than I think he necessarily should have in this tournament. Um, but I mean, nope. Honestly, this match against Yoda I'll say this: it was the most life I saw in Carlin Newman through the whole G1 because he was already eliminated at this point. So it was
Yep.
like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna ruin his, a G1. You know what
Yeah,
I
the
mean?
spoiler.
Spoiler.
And that was the match that everybody had their hopes on because essentially he could have spoiled Suji as we proceed to the next events that happen, but we always said we knew it was Suji's to block. It was his block to lose. He didn't win the block, but he struggled in the block, and that's a good thing because that determined if the people were, like we said, invested in him actually wanting to win the G1 and get the shot. So it did what it was supposed to do in that regard. And with that win, he clinched a spot. So that was the biggest key.
Right. Um, and that brings us to lost my place here. Oh, Hiroshi Tanahashi taking a L to Evil in 12 minutes 50 seconds. Tanahashi 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points. Evil 6 wins, 3 losses, 12 points. Yeah, I mean, Evil certainly. Honestly, both guys best performances they've had in a really long time. I don't remember the last time Tanahashi got 8 points in a in a G1, and obviously Evil's never done this well. Obviously the top of his block. He won his block.
I mean, I remember I told you the dark horse was Evil.
Yeah.
I was like, don't sleep on him. I mean, and sure enough, he came through. But you want to say somewhat dominant because 12 to get 12, bro, you were whooping ass and taking names, and of course he wins the block and gets the bye. That's the biggest key, number one. Even though with some underhanded means, but he won the block and got the bye.
Right. Which is, the thing, as the heel, what you want to make your, face look, better when he, has to conquer the heel. And then, this was for the last spot in the G1. The playoffs, I should say. Yuya Uemura took an L to David Finlay in 23 minutes and 1 second. Yuya with 10 points, Finlay with 10 points, but Finlay had the tiebreaker on him, so he advanced to, the finals. Talk about a dark horse. David Finlay was not on our radar.
Nowhere near our fucking radar. The fact that it was a four-way tie with 10 points, and that was, they literally took it to the NFL with the tiebreakers, bro. It was like, God damn it, bro. And of all the people, Finlay snuck his little ass in there.
Yeah.
I guess that Evil win actually. But honestly, that's what his tiebreaker and that Evil win carried him to the quarters.
Yeah. And again, I said at the beginning of this, Finley's there for one match. It was to get that ass on Evil. He got that ass.
We both said that. we both said that.
And he still made it to the finals. Like what the hell? But yeah, Suji, Evil, and Finlay all made it to, the second to the last night of G1 action. That brings us to August 13th. B block action. Shingo Takagi took a win on Drillo Baloney in 12 minutes. Takagi ends with 5 wins, 4 losses, 10 points. Maloney 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points. I think it was a decent showing for Maloney. Obviously Shingo is still, a very big part of New Japan, so have to keep him looking strong in the end, even though he was eliminated. Maloney, I personally don't see him as a major star going into the future, but obviously they saw something in him to put him in this tournament and give him the W's that they did.
Yeah, they did. Which you have to say that's a respectable showing, and then you got Takagi, who's up and down in the tournament, but ended it on a good note. So that's all he could do.
Right. Yoshihashi lost to Zack Sabre Jr. in 17 minutes 36 seconds.
Which is 17 minutes and 27 seconds too long.
There was times in this match where I was like, son of a bitch, Yoshihashi's gonna win this match. Yoshihashi's gonna win this match. You know, if he,
Yoshihashi is not getting a shot at the IWGP Championship.
I mean, if you would have told me that before the G1, I would have believed you. Actually, going into the tournament, it was looking pretty good for him. But
It was, but it all came down, just like the G1 gods made it so.
50-50, showing you why he's 50-50.
Now, 50-50 was more like 80-20 in this tournament.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody took the Okano's role, it was Zach. He got 7 wins, 2 losses, 14 points. The most out of everybody in both blocks. So, I mean, if anybody did really well in this tournament, it was him.
I know, and I mean, the losses he took, obviously, I mean, he lost to Shota and Narita.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those two, Shota, technically, I mean, maybe they'll see how he looks against Zack Sabre Jr. for the title. Figure out what the people think of him in that echelon. So we'll see. And with Narita, we'll see how that goes as well. So, I mean, but, yeah, that 50-50 was 80-20. He was the Pareto principle in this tournament. That motherfucker, 80-20 up in this bitch.
Soto Uno defeated Great Khan in 12 minutes, 5 seconds. Soto ended with 12 points, 6 wins, 3 losses. Okan, 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 points. And it was looking pretty up for Okan at the beginning of the tournament. He just kind of dropped off at the end. But I don't think any of us necessarily had high hopes for Okan to, do anything significant in this tournament, no?
Oh, no. Hell no. I mean, yeah, we when we looked at the block, it was, Saber, Shota. We thought Takagi would have a showing. So, yeah, I mean, the players that came at the end came through.
Yeah. And obviously Soda, took a, he's in there. So yeah, he advanced to the semis. So
The quarters.
quarters.
Quarters. They call it quarters. So,
Well, but whatever it was, he made it to it.
he got in it. There you go.
He's in it. And then the last match to determine the last spot in the tournament. Colt Kutska takes Shida versus Ren Narita. I was kind of surprised that Take a Shit took a W on Narita. But yeah, 20 minutes. Taketsuka is in the G1 finals. Well, semis.
I told you, Teixeira did not fly all that way from the Don Callis family to get to this point and just to take a L. He only coming for dubs, yo.
Yes. You were technically right about that. But I mean, Ren Narita got the win on Zack Sabre Jr., so he's probably going to cash that in sooner rather than later. So yeah.
Him and Shota are going to cash that in sooner than later.
I mean, if Shota wins the whole shebang, I mean, he's not.
Shota's not winning the whole shebang.
Well, I mean, he didn't win this whole shebang.
That we can agree.
Yeah, he didn't. So that that's your G1 finals, semifinals, participants, the people in
Quarterfinals.
quarterfinals.
So the quarterfinal, because the bye gets you. It's six, but the bye is the spot. So
Yeah.
in this case, and this is where it confused me as hell as well. So now with this new rule that seemed like they change every year with these goddamn final rules. Okay, so Evil and Zack Sabre Jr. both respectively won their blocks, so they were the number one seed in those blocks, therefore receiving a straight up bye into the semifinals, where they would await the winners of the two other quarterfinal matches in which Shota would go against Suji because it was B Block 2 versus A Block 3, which means Suji, technically, even though he got most of the points, he barely got in third place. And then David Finlay, who actually surprised us the most and was the number 2 seed in the A Block against Take Shitta in the B Block, which is the 3rd seed. So that's how that worked. So that actually, yeah, that's how that worked. And then the winner, so the winner of Shota and Suji would take on Evil, and the winner of Finlay and Take Shitta will take on Zack Sabre Jr. in the semis. Basically NFL style up in this bitch.
I could have just went to night to the 14th, and we could have just talked about those two matches.
Well, I just wanted to give people how they came up with the formula, which is New Japan, get your shit together. Pick a formula and stick with it. Cause
yeah, the last like 4.
The last 3 years
yeah,
get some shit.
it was really confusing.
Well, I mean, the best one was kind of like the ABCD because that made sense. ABCD made sense because it was like the World Cup.
I hated the ABCD.
Well, I mean, but it was way more pleasing mathematically.
I mean, I just like 2 blocks, 10 people. If you. It leaves room for
round robin.
Yeah,
round robin. You like the round robin.
It leaves more potential matchups that we haven't seen in the past that we wouldn't necessarily have seen if it wasn't for them being in the tournament. You know what I mean?
Who the fuck wants to see a dream match with Yoshihashi 10 times?
But I mean, Moxley and Yano, that was a match that we never knew we wanted to see until it came on our television screen.
Yeah, Moxley and Yano was one. That was one for the ages. That was one for the ages. That was when Mox was on his Don't Give a Fuck tour. But anyway, yeah.
Before we get into the quarters, how would you rate this G1 so far? How did you feel about it?
I mean, I thought I needed Pepto Bismol with Yoshihashi in first place. So, but then the gods helped me with that. But overall, it actually, the way that they pushed the story the story of Suji was interesting. I think everything, and considering that they had to probably switch up all. I mean, I think they weren't going to switch up the Suji story regardless. It just became exacerbated when Zack Sabre Jr. became the champion. So it just made it a lot more interesting in that regard because I don't remember if. Oh damn! Who was the previous champion? Was it what was his name?
Goto.
Goto. So was Goto slated to be in the G1?
Yeah, he got injured, and that's why.
That's right. He got injured. Zack Sabre Jr. was already in it, became champion.
Yeah, and Yoshihashi replaced Goto.
Really? Because Yoshihashi beat Caleb Newman. Oh no, not Caleb Newman. He beat
Chase Owens.
Chase Owens.
It
Chase
was
Owens punk ass
Tai Chi.
couldn't get the job done.
Tai
Tai
Chi
Chi
took
came
his,
in.
yeah.
Got it. Okay, so that makes sense. See? So I mean so basically having to basically switch it or the story changed on the fly like that, uh I have to give him props for it. It was pretty solid, consider all things considered.
You know, I honestly, to me, it was a bit lackluster. You know, when the only, big name that you have in there is Tanahashi, um, you know, that's a problem because you need names. And, as much as I like Suji and I want Suji to do well, he's not a big name yet. So, you can I get that they're in a rebuilding phase. They're trying some shit. But they don't got the names or the the personalities to really drive home, a really interesting, G1 in my opinion. You know, it kind of this was like when you have to pull from the second and third string in order to fill out a tournament, and
Hmm.
your best foreign athlete from another country is, a Kanosuke, which is not technically from a foreign country, Japanese. Um, it's it, it's it just kind of shows you where they are right now. Like I said, a couple years ago they had fucking John Moxley in this tournament. Now, you have Konosuke. Even like having somebody that's from like Noah just to kind of switch things up, like when they had Marafuji in there. It's just enough to be, a variable, so to speak.
Hmm.
I The matches were decent. There was a couple of standouts for sure, but they need to get on making, bigger stores, or outsource to countries, to other places, to get a couple of big names to attract the people to come to these shows, in my opinion. But like I said, rebuilding phase. For what they had, they did well, and obviously, right before the G1 started, Goto got injured. Um, Gabe Kidd literally got injured on his first match. So I mean, it definitely wasn't perfect, to say the least. You know?
I mean, yeah. So, like, that's what I said. I give them a solid. It was solid considering what they were trying to do. And yeah, they didn't have the names, and the names are what makes it. Or we usually be like, what block is the block of death because of all the names and the potential matchup. So I do miss that aspect of it. But in this instance, they used the G1 to actually create the newer generation of what they're trying to do. Because Shota winning it was huge for him.
So
Because the
they
crowd may
winning.
not be on his side. No, I'm talking about making the finals, right? Making the quarters. Shota placing in the block is huge for him because you don't see any other way you would. There's no other pathway for him to be seen in that upper echelon light unless it's the G1.
Right.
Right. So that's why I give them the solid because it did what it was supposed to do in setting up their two future stars in Suji and Umino as major players for years to come. It kept Oleg as this guy who is could be a possible world champion, one day as a Gaijin. Zack Sabre Jr., of course, the torch carrier right now. Take Shida is just on a roll this year. So I mean, the players that they were trying to highlight definitely shined. It's just like you said, it's you have to start somewhere to get those names, and I think this was probably the best group of people to make the final. Evil found his swag again. Jesus Christ, I'm just telling you, Evil seemed lost for like 5 years.
How Evil got his groove back.
Evil got his groove back. So and that's my point. So it's like the people that it got some people back in the mix, and then it highlighted the people that they want for the future. So you can't help but do you want the big names? Yeah, but you got to start here. This is where it starts.
Right. Well, let's get into it. For the 14 quarterfinals, Konosuke took a W on David Finlay. If you're a Gaijin, you ain't right, sing.
No, Take Shida did not fly all the way from AEW. I keep telling you this. He did not fly all the way for these L's, homie.
No, he did not.
Except the 50-50, because he going to lose the... Well, no. He might be 50-50. Oh, no. He might win the semi.
Oh.
Because now beating him, him beating Finlay, he faces 50-50.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna... Oh, well, I mean, it is 50-50, and the last 50, Zach won, so... Yeah, we could see Take a Shit in the finals. And the second finals was Sota Uno taking an L to Yota Tsuji in 28 minutes, 18 seconds. Gene Blaster. Yeah, this was right. Tsuji needs to get that much needed G1 win. I could have made the argument he should have won it last year, even though I didn't watch last year. He needs to be your IWGP World Champion. That's just my opinion. He's your next superstar. He's ready right now. He's there right now.
I mean, they're gonna get him there. Like I told you, I thought this match would have been the final. But we got it way sooner than I would have liked. So yeah, but the right person won. Tsuji won. Shota looks good in the loss, and it just shows you why they're gonna be like rivals for years to come.
Oh yeah, this is one of billions of matches they're gonna have in the future.
Oh yeah, so this ain't over by a long shot. But right now it's Tsuji's path to the semis, and he gets Evil, who also beat him in the tournament. So this 50-50 shit is really for the hit. This 50-50 shit really for the hit different.
And yeah, August 16th, Saturday, both today. Well, technically, if we're being technical about it, this already happened. Yota Tsuji versus Evil and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Konosuke Take a Shit. So yeah, Tsuji versus Konosuke now. That's gonna be our final.
That's the final, with Take Shida being so close to flying all the way from AEW, leaving the Callis family to almost get the G1, but coming up short to Tsuji. Or they might shock the shit out of us. You never fucking know.
Shock the shit but take a shit?
I mean, shock the shit would take a shit.
Well, I think that's what.
However, my money is on Tsuji. I ain't that damn goofy.
Okay. Well, I think that's where we'll end it. That's where we'll conclude our G1 Climax coverage. end this episode as a whole. Next week we'll have the finals down, and we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about Triple Mania as well, and whatever else happens in the week of pro wrestling. Yeah, if you like what, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Play on One Coffee. Join us next Tuesday and this upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday as we interview Romeo and Funny Bone, and join us next Saturday as we preview and review what we just spoke about. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Thread, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
I am Kaliko. Next week, I will actually be on time at Lucha. I'll actually be on time at Lucha Boom. I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of interesting Mexican wrestlers that are coming through. So I am 1 stoked.
For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
And this time I'm just going to make sure I have the backpack like Dora, so that way it'll talk me there, make sure I'm on time, you know.
I think you're talking
Because
about
I want to be there. Like, I'm going to take the backpack too. Backpack. You got to put it in the backpack.
Yes. The map, in the
backpack. Yeah, there you go. Backpack. Yum. Delicioso. You know.
Just be careful you don't get swiper nor swipey.
I mean, considering it's in LA and they got robots delivering food now, I was motherfuckers swiping all over the place on them.
4 letters, 1 word, yeet.
I mean, yeah. Or 4 letters.
Hey, folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show. Support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.